Okay, so several different ways you could use Screencastify. You could record short mini lessons for your students. You could demonstrate something and then post it on your web page as a link. You could send it home in a link via an email. You could post it on your web page. There are a lot of different ways that short video recordings could be used. I'm sure the teachers out there can think of probably more ways than I can this morning. So another great thing about Screencastify is that it's free, so there's nothing that you have to install on your computer. There's no payments. It's completely free, and with the free version you're allowed to create videos up to 10 minutes long. So typically that's plenty of time to get across a point or convey a mini lesson or a demonstration of some sort. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show you how to access Screencastify, how to create an account, and then how to create your own recorded screencasts. So I'm going to share my screen with everyone. All right. So Screencastify is a tool within your Google Chrome web browser. So you'll see here that I have Google Chrome open on my screen, and I'm just on the TSC web page. Screencastify is what's called a Chrome extension. So we haven't talked a great deal about Chrome apps and Chrome extensions, but basically Chrome extensions are little programs that you can install within Chrome, and they do specific tasks. So if you're signed into Chrome with your TSC account, hopefully you see these two little icons up in the top right hand corner. These are two Chrome extensions that we have automatically pushed out to everyone. There are tons of other Chrome extensions that you could search for and install and use. Most of them are free. So to find Chrome apps and Chrome extensions, you want to go to the Chrome Web Store. So how you go to the Chrome Web Store is I'm going to open a new tab. And here, these are my Chrome apps that I have installed. Down in the bottom right-hand corner of this screen, you should see an icon that says Web Store. So if I go to the Chrome Web Store, this is where I can search for Chrome apps and Chrome extensions and also themes that kind of change the background and color of Google Chrome for you. You'll notice here on the left-hand side in this toolbar, there's an area that says TSC Recommended Apps. If you're signed into Chrome with your TSC Google account, you will see this. If you're not seeing it this morning, that means you're probably not signed into Chrome with your TSC Google account. Okay? So you can search for apps and extensions by just typing in the search field. If you go to the TSC Recommended Apps area, you're going to see a collection of apps and extensions that the technology department has researched and found and determined to be of relevance and of high quality. So if you scroll down about halfway through the TSC Recommended Apps area, you'll see the Screencastify option. So it's this little tile right here. So the process for installing an app or an extension is pretty easy. You just click the app or the extension, and you're going to get a little preview window. There's some good information in this window because you can see screenshots and sometimes even videos of what the app or the extension does. You can also see reviews or what other people have said about this app or extension. Typically, they're pretty spot on. So for example, Screencastify has gotten 4 out of 5 stars, and almost 2,000 people have reviewed it. That tells me that it's probably a pretty good extension. If only 5 people have installed it and it has 1 star, that tells me that it's probably not that useful, not that popular. So to move forward with installing Screencastify, you just need to click the blue Add to Chrome button. Then you're going to get a little pop-up window that asks you if you want to add the Screencastify extension. So then you'll just click the Add button. And it'll take a few seconds. All right. You'll notice here in the top right-hand corner where my extensions are, I now have a little black film strip icon. That is the Screencastify extension. You'll notice that a new tab opened up in Google Chrome, and I'm now on a Screencastify setup screen. You may have another option here that asks you to grant permission for the camera on your laptop or your desktop. So you may need to go ahead and give Screencastify permission to use your camera. I've already used Screencastify on this computer. That's why I'm not seeing that option. The most important option on this screen is the ability to save your video recordings to Google Drive. This is another awesome feature of Screencastify. When you create these videos, you can automatically save them into your Google Drive account, which is nice because, number one, it doesn't take up storage on your computer or on your H drive, but number two, the video file automatically goes into your Google Drive, and then you can just go into your Google Drive, get the link to the video, and then post that link on your web page, send that link in an email, however you want to share it with your intended audience. So I'm going to select the option to store my recordings in Google Drive, and then I have to click the orange grant permission button. So once I give Screencastify permission to save videos to Google Drive, I'm ready to get started. I'm going to go ahead and close this tab because now I know I'm set up. One thing I want to show you before we get started in Screencastify is within my Google Drive account, I now have a folder titled Screencastify. I didn't create that folder beforehand. What happened is when I created the Screencastify account and gave it permission to access my Google Drive, it automatically created this folder for me. So what will happen is when I create these Screencastify videos, they will automatically be stored here in this folder. So you don't have to manually save them. You don't have to go and search for them. They'll automatically be placed in the Screencastify folder. Okay, so let's say I'm ready to get started and create a video for my students related to something we're learning in class. It's pretty easy to get started. What you'll need to do is click the black film strip icon for Screencastify, and this little window will pop open. A few options you'll have here at the top of this window. You can choose to record just the tab of your web browser. So if you remember, Google Chrome is a tabbed web browser, so I can open up multiple tabs here in Chrome and do various tasks. If I leave Screencastify set on the tab option, it's only going to record what is on this tab or what I'm doing on this tab. So that can be useful if maybe you have a slideshow on this tab and then you have notes on another tab. More often than not, you'll probably change that setting to desktop. What that will do is it will allow you to record your entire desktop. So for example, once you start recording, you could close or minimize Google Chrome. You could open up another program. You could do whatever you needed to do, and it would still be recorded, even though you had minimized Google Chrome. So that's what the desktop option would allow you to do. Another really useful option is the camera option. So what this would allow you to do is you could either record yourself talking using your webcam, or you could actually record directly from your document camera. So let's say you needed to make a little math review video showing how to do a math problem or how to solve an equation. You could actually record yourself writing directly from your document camera, and I'll demonstrate that here in a few minutes. You'll see that the audio is already being inputted, so you can see the little bar jumping up and down there from my voice. A couple other options, this embed webcam. This would be if you wanted to show a picture of your face while you were presenting something on the screen. So let's say that you had a slideshow that you were going through on the screen, but then you also wanted your face, the video of your face, to be shown in the bottom right-hand corner so that your students would see not only your face, but then what you were sharing content-wise. I don't use that option often, but it is there. Another option here that would be useful, especially if you are using the document camera, is the show preview window. What that will do is it will open a tiny little window here in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen that shows you what's being recorded. So you'll see in just a couple minutes when you're using the document camera, it's kind of nice to be able to see if it's orientated correctly and if it's capturing what you want it to capture. So I'm going to leave this set for desktop, and I'm going to record everything that's going on my desktop. So all I need to do is click the Start Recording option, and I'm going to select the option for the entire screen, and then I'm going to click Share. So now you'll see here in the bottom, at the bottom of the screen, I have a little prompt that's reminding me that I'm currently recording my entire screen. I can go ahead and click Hide because I don't need that open. Notice up here in the top right-hand corner in that Screencastify area, there's a little red circle. That again notifies me that I'm currently recording everything on my screen as well as my voice. So now I could close this window. Here you'll see our webinar window. I could open up a calculator. I could do anything that I wanted on my computer, and it's all being recorded right now in a video. I'm going to go back into Chrome, and when I'm ready to stop recording, I click the Screencastify option and I click Stop Recording. You'll notice you can also pause if you wanted to. I'm going to click Stop Recording, and as soon as I click Stop Recording, a new tab is going to open, and it's going to show me a preview of what I just recorded. So if you'll notice, here's my screen. Hopefully you can see my mouse cursor moving. So it just captured everything I just did, including my voice. A couple options here on the right-hand side. You'll see there's a delete option. Sometimes you'll create a screencast video and you'll mess up halfway through and you'll want to start over. When that happens, I always just come in here and click delete. That way it doesn't clutter up my Screencastify folder back in Google Drive. You'll notice right here I see a little cloud that says stored on drive. That means that the video has already been saved in my Google Drive. And here is the link to the video. If I come back into my Google Drive account, in my Screencastify folder, there is the video that I just created. It takes a few minutes for it to convert here into Google Drive. That's why you just see a little red square. So for example, if I tried to open it, it would tell me that it's not ready yet. It takes a few minutes for it to be ready depending on the size of the video. You'll notice that right now it's titled Untitled Screencast. I could rename it right here within Google Drive. Or from this Screencastify area, I could also rename it here. And that name would then transfer back here into Google Drive. So let's say that I was happy with this video. I wanted to send it out to my students so they knew how to do something. I could just right-click, click Share, go into my advanced sharing area. Here's the link to the video. And then I would just want to make sure that the link is set to public, or I could even set it to only be accessible for TSC students or staff. So depending on who you want to watch the video, you would set these share settings accordingly. So if I make the link public and click Save, now I could email this link to anyone I wanted, and they would be able to open the link and watch the screencast video. Okay. And go ahead and close the Screencastify and close a couple of these tabs here. Now I'm going to demonstrate how you could use the camera option, which is really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Screencastify again, and I'm going to toggle over to camera input. So you'll notice it's still taking my audio, but there's an option to select which camera you want to use. So right now, if I click select, I have two different cameras that I could choose from. I could choose from the webcam on my computer, or since I have my document camera connected, I could choose my document camera. So for example, if I were to select webcam and click start recording, it would record my face and me talking. If I change this to document camera and hit start recording, then it will record anything I write. So remember I mentioned that if you're using the camera option, it's always a good idea to use the preview window. You'll see what I mean in just a second. So now I'm going to demonstrate how to use the document camera. I've set it to camera. I've selected the document camera as the camera I want to use. I'm using the preview window option, and I'm going to click start recording. So you'll notice here in the bottom right hand corner I have a tiny little window that shows my document camera. So I've got a piece of notepad here. Here's my hand. And now I could come in and solve really difficult math problems and show my students whatever I needed to show them writing. When I'm finished capturing the document camera, I would come here and click pause. So that's going to pause the recording. And then I would come up to the Screencastify area and I would click stop. Okay. Just like before, it's going to open a new window and it's going to show me a preview of my document cam video that I just created. So you'll notice that the picture is pretty clear. It wasn't so much on the small preview window, but here's a full-size video of me writing using the document camera. So again, another great option to record yourself writing information or demonstrating things for your students. Just like before, this video has automatically been saved in my Google Drive account. If I toggle over here to Screencastify, to my Screencastify folder in Google Drive, here is that new untitled webcast. Here's my IIB video from a few minutes ago. It's ready to go. I can watch it right here from within Google Drive. So that's pretty much it. Again, Screencastify is a pretty simple tool to use. If you're going to create a large video or a big production, it might not be the best tool to use. There are other options out there that have more robust features. But for creating quick, short demonstration videos or how-to videos, it's a pretty nice tool because it's so easy to use and because it automatically saves those video files in your Google Drive account. So I've seen some questions come through on the chat on the side. Hopefully those have been answered. If you have any questions about how to use Screencastify, as always, please follow up with a member of the Connected Learning team. We're here to help you try new tools and see how they can be used as part of your instruction process. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Please have a fantastic Friday and a great weekend, and thank you for joining.